My name is Army Staff Sergeant Oscar Guerra. I was injured in Iraq when an IED exploded. This resulted of the loss of my left leg below the knee, TBI, and other injuries. This lady that's sitting next to me is Felicia Guerra, my wife. She's a wonderful woman. Love her. We met during a UFC fight one night. We just hit it off from that point forward.
Actually, what got me interested in him was when he said he would want to go work out with me. Mm-hmm. So our first date was actually meeting at the gym at 5 a.m. So we have Aiden, who is 15. He's a sophomore in high school. And we also have 2 boys, twins. They are 2.5, Kevin Valor and Ronan Richard.
Initially, when I joined the Army, when I enlisted, there was no real purpose other than I wanted to travel. That was my initial intention, but then I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the organization, the climate, the brotherhood. My injury happened on August 2nd, 2007. Don't remember too much about that day, just because it was a big blur. I was knocked out for several hours. It was just a bad day. It was a bad day that I didn't think was going to happen to us specifically, because we were already in the very end of that deployment. It was a 15-month deployment. We were about 13 and a half months into it. We were inside of a Striker, so it was a pretty up-armored vehicle. The bomb was just so big, it made that Striker look like a pile of shrapnel from the inside out. I wasn't fully conscious until I arrived at stateside in Brooke Army Medical Center, San Antonio, Texas. The injuries didn't really affect me a whole lot, other than, oh, it sucks, I'm in the hospital bed. The biggest thing that impacted me was the death of 4 of our members. 3 initially were killed in action, and then the 4th one passed away at Walter Reed several months later. At that point, I had no kids and divorced, so what was the purpose of me living? Getting into a routine of life with the rehabilitation, where that was basically my job for 3 years of my life, just rehab. I set goals for myself, figure out a way to remain in the Army. You have to be able to pass the Army physical fitness test. I put in my packet and I showed them proof that I could still actively engage in the Army. They agreed to allow me to stay on board. And I finished the rest of my 8 years of service, or 7 years at that time, yeah. We're currently living in Selma, Texas. Our home just is not ADA accessible in any shape, form, or way. Moving into that house, I just found all types of obstacles that was just messy. Everything from the steps to the driveway. It's on the slope. During that type of situation, I've got to do the sinful thing of all amputees, which is having to hop from location to location. That's taking its toll on my overall physical, because I do so much hopping around from doorway to doorway, or from going to the hallway to the bathroom.
Yeah, but the biggest, like I say, obstacles we found around the house is in his wheelchair. He can't go to the backyard to play with the kids. There's been a few times I've seen him out there and he's just hopping just to sit down on the patio and then just can't even play with the kids. Because we do live on the hill, he can't cut the grass. So that leaves all the maintenance of the yard to me, which takes its toll on me. He's fallen in the bathtub a couple of times, and yeah. I guess now I'm at the point where I'm like, are you okay? Okay, all right, you're fine. As long as there's no major injuries, we just let it go now. And it's unfortunate that we've had to just adapt our life to that.
When my comrades told me about Homes for Our Troops, that's when I hopped on it and started the application and the process.
I thought there's no way that we're getting a house built for you and they just are giving you the house if we're not paying anything. I thought that might not be true. So I did do some research on it and saw how these other soldiers were able to come back and live a happy life with their families. That's when I told him, I was like, let's do this. So if we were to receive a home, the biggest thing would be being on flat land, that he can be outside and not have to worry about, can he go out there or not with the kids?
I would say the biggest advantage would be that bathroom. Something just so opened. It's gonna restart our life and leave us worry-free. We can actually look forward to a longevity life of me being able to do stuff with the kids.
All this money now that we hopefully can now save can now go to our kids' college funds. So Homes for Our Troops is a game changer in our life for our entire family and our future of our family.
It's going to be able to create the environment that only a few can dream of.
If I could say one thing to a donor or sponsor, I'd say thank you. Thank you for supporting not only us, but all the other soldiers that have come before us. Thank you for supporting their families and giving them a life that they thought was never possible.